Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Okay guys, got a quick post here for you from Hedera, and wanted to share this with you guys because to me this is what I'm talking about with Hedera when we're talking about longevity. This is the kind of stuff to me that makes me so confident about Hedera long term, because this post to me just shows you the way other companies look at Hedera. So let's go through the post real quick. We have today the @OpenSSF, a global cross-industry initiative of the @Linux Foundation dedicated to sustainability, securing open source software, has announced Hedera as one of its newest members alongside leading technology, aerospace and security firms. And so if you can see here, we just have an image. And OpenSSF is Open Source Security Foundation. And you can see these names here. We have ADA Logics, Boeing, which I believe Boeing is on the Hedera Governing Council, Chainloop, Defense Unicorns, Insignia, and Step Security. And Hedera is among them. And so when we're talking about these types of companies, we're talking about huge companies here, right? Big names. And Hedera is amongst them. Yeah. And they're looking at Hedera in terms of crypto as one of the big names to represent this foundation. And so to me, this is what gives me the security to think that Hedera, to me, long term, they're not going nowhere. Because the fact that they're within these companies, within these initiatives, these foundations, and they're basically, aiding these companies and adding to the initiative, it just further supports the fact to me that they want Hedera involved and they see Hedera as a company of a certain caliber to be amongst all these other companies, right? It also shows you that they take crypto seriously because, if they was just looking at crypto and thinking, this is just a fad, why are we going to bother dealing with these guys? They wouldn't even want any kind of crypto network involved in this, right? They just wouldn't bother, because if you look at the other technologies that we're talking about, aerospace, security firms, these are already tried and tested companies, right? These are already tried and tested industries. DLT, crypto, this is new. And so to me, this shows you that they see the future. Right, they see where this is going, and they want Hedera to be a part of this because I guess they look at Hedera as a big name that will represent this type of industry in the future. And so this is what I mean when I'm talking about longevity, guys. We can see at the moment that, with this bull run, there's been coins that have been taken off lately, and I think some people are getting a bit frustrated because they're like, why isn't Hedera pumping? And it's like, look, guys. For one, Hedera already has had a pump just to show you that it can move with the rest of the market. And also, the market rotates, guys. That's just the way it works. We haven't had the proper alt season yet. We're still waiting for that. And it just works in turns. It's not like a thing where all cryptos move together. So what generally happens is all the cryptos are generally moving up because the market as a whole is moving up. But then each crypto will have its moment to shoot up in value because the crypto market is rotating through different cryptos. So it's going from one crypto to another crypto because they're just trying to buy value in cryptos that haven't yet taken off. That's all this is. So we have to wait for that to occur. And so I know a lot of people now are just thinking, have I invested in the wrong thing and that kind of stuff? And to me, I don't feel that way right now. I just think that it's a matter of time. We've just got to let things play out. But to me, when you're talking longevity, this is what I'm thinking, and this is why I have confidence in Hedera, because, we can look at Terra Luna. It's always the example I go to because it's a prime example, how big of a thriving network that was until it wasn't, right? Until the UST collapsed and couldn't maintain its peg. And so sometimes you can think that you're in something that's, going to be here forever and you think it's a massive network, but there could be a huge flaw in the network that you're invested in. Now, don't get me wrong, that goes for Hedera too. I'm not trying to act like Hedera is exempt from that, but when we look at what Hedera has been through, have we heard of any real issues? Don't get me wrong, there was a bit of a bug that happened, I think it was last year if I'm remembering rightly, but they got on that swiftly and that was very quickly resolved. So again, that shows you that they've been tried and tested when there's been a flaw, and that got resolved, and there was no real issue, right? There was no real loss for anybody or anything like that. It was resolved swiftly. So to me, that again shows you how quick they are to iron out any flaws that they see within the system, within the network, which again, that's great, right? That's a great sign. So to me, as I say, I just see Hedera and I just think of longevity, and this is the kind of stuff that gives me that further confidence when I see them joining these types of foundations, the fact that they're rubbing shoulders with these types of companies. It shows me what they think of them, and it shows me that they're here to stay because these companies are wanting to work with them as well. So I've just got their website here. I'll just quickly get into this and we'll just quickly go through this as well, just to get a bit of a better idea of what we're talking about here. The Open Source Security Foundation, in brackets OpenSSF, a global cross-industry initiative of the Linux Foundation that focuses on sustainably securing open source software, in brackets OSS, is excited to announce new members from leading technology, aerospace, and security firms. The OpenSSF is further pleased to host Secure Open Source Software, in brackets SOSS, Community Day at Open Source Summit North America, in brackets NA, 2024, which brings together members and contributors from all around the world. The OpenSSF welcomes new general members ADA Logics, The Boeing Company, Chainloop, Defense Unicorns, Insignia, Hedera, and Step Security. With support from these new organizations, the OpenSSF heads into 2024 with 120 members that together recognize the importance of backing, maintaining, and promoting strong, vibrant, and secure open source software ecosystems. Quote, "It brings us great pleasure to welcome our newest members to the OpenSSF," unquote, said Omkar Arasafia, the general manager of OpenSSF. Quote, "The challenge of safeguarding open source software is significant, and we eagerly anticipate collaborating with them." To celebrate its growing community, the OpenSSF is hosting Secure Open Source Software, in brackets SOSS, Community Day at Open Source Summit NA 2024 in Seattle. SOSS Community Day NA 2024, with over 500 registrants, is an opportunity for community members from across the open source security ecosystem to get together and share ideas. Featuring a packed schedule with sessions led by 49 experts on topics like education, innovation, tooling, vulnerabilities, threats, and more, SOSS Community Day will showcase the work the OpenSSF community is doing to drive open source software security. Further highlighting the organization's commitment to security education, SOSS Community Day NA will feature a 90-minute inactive tabletop exercise, in brackets TTX, designed to engage the open source community on security practices. Now I'm just going to get down to the member codes, but we'll just get to Hedera. So, Hedera, quote, "We're truly excited to be a part of the OpenSSF. As a fully open source, public and lowest carbon impact distributed ledger technology, in brackets DLT, with a growing ecosystem of contributors and enterprise consumers, it's important that we embrace secure open source development and consumption best practices developed by the OpenSSF. Additionally, we look forward to bringing our deep expertise in DLT and blockchain to broaden OpenSSF's capabilities and reach," unquote. Andrew Aitken, Chief Open Source Officer, Hedera. Okay guys, I'll leave it there. And I know a lot of people are probably going to hear this and they just think, oh, it's just a quick foundation doing like a, just doing some kind of presentation, some kind of open day thing, like what's the big deal? Well, look, first and foremost, not every kind of name is on there, right? So first and foremost, the fact that Hedera are actually just within this and just getting to contribute, it is a big deal because it shows you they have a certain name to them, they have a certain reputation for them to even to get into this, because they're not just picking up anyone and everyone, right? There's plenty of crypto networks out there that they could have chosen if they wanted to. They didn't, they chose Hedera. So that already tells you a lot. And secondly, the good stuff about this, what you've got to understand is, we think about the governing council, right? Well, when you're looking at these kind of open days where people are getting together, I've said this before, this is where the genius minds can rub shoulders, bump heads, right? And who knows, there could be a partnership that comes out of this. There could be the next company who's going to join the Hedera Governing Council. Do you see what I'm saying? So don't always just look at these things as, oh, what's this going to do for price? It may not do anything for price, but what it could do is it could actually breed a whole new partnership or a whole new idea in terms of how they could utilize HBAR that could be massive for the company and for the network, right? This could be massive for HBAR long term. So this is where you've got to look at this opportunity, right? And that's why I think this is a great thing. And so, as I said earlier, to me, this just talks about longevity, like Hedera being mentioned in the same breath of some of these big companies here. It tells me that they're looking at crypto very seriously, and it also tells me that they're taking Hedera very seriously. So to me, it just shows that, in my eyes, it just looks like Hedera is like one of the ones to watch long term. So I think this is real good, so I just thought I'd share it with you guys, but we'll see. Who knows what will come from this? Just something to keep our eyes on, and we'll see how this impacts Hedera in the future. But to me, there's positives there, so we will see. But what do you guys think? Hedera joining the Open Source Security Foundation. Do you like the sound of this? Do you think anything positive will come from Hedera joining the Open Source Security Foundation? Do you think that this would be good for HBAR's price? Or do you not like the sound of this? Is there anything that you've heard that actually makes you concerned about Hedera joining the Open Source Security Foundation? Or do you just not think that this will be good for HBAR's price overall long term? Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'd be interested to hear. Thank you very much for watching this. If you did like it, please remember to drop a comment, like, and subscribe. But until next time, take care.